Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin Kukul. If you guys are new here, I am a lifestyle and fitness blogger and a gym owner here in Minneapolis. So today I'm going to be talking about how I started my blog. I get a lot of questions about this, and I know a lot of you come to my page for like fitness and motivation and stuff, so this might not be for you, but I do get a lot of questions about how I started. And on March 8th, actually, I'm recording this on the 7th of March 2019, and tomorrow is my 2-year blogiversary, and it's just got me in the feels, you know what I'm saying? It's making me just like reminisce on all of like the self-doubt and the hard times that I had to get here, and I'm definitely not anywhere where I want to be, but you gotta, you know, it takes time and consistent hard work to get to where you want to be. I'm just excited to talk about this because I do get a lot of questions on like where I started in general. How did I even get into this position that I am right now speaking to you guys? So let's get started. At 26, this is not what I thought I would be doing. I always wanted to be a photographer. That was like my dream. And I graduated high school in 2011. I went to Moorhead State University in Moorhead, Minnesota. I'm from North Dakota, for those of you who didn't know, very small town North Dakota, like 800 people. And yeah, Instagram was not a thing, first of all. Blogs weren't really like that popular, lifestyle bloggers, all that stuff. It just wasn't a thing when I was in high school. Instagram, I think, started in like 2010 or something, but I didn't really even know about it until my freshman year in college in 2011. I was an art major. That is what I started doing. And because I wanted to be a photographer, and my counselor at my high school said that I needed to be an art major and emphasize in photography. So that's what I did. I was an art major. I would sit in the 3-hour classes and try and draw these like abstract pieces, and literally I am the worst drawer. I can't draw, okay? That's not me, okay? Being creative and being artistic are very different things, in my opinion. I cannot draw to save my life, can barely draw a stick figure. I swear to you, I cannot draw. But I really want to be a photographer, so I'm just like, okay, this is what I have to do to get through this and be a photographer, and like, I guess I'll just have to do it. No, that's not how it worked out. After the first semester, I switched my major because I was like, I can not handle another 3-hour art class. I actually think I would rather pull each individual eyelash out of my eyeballs. So I switched my major to business, and I went to business because I was like, yeah, I want to be a photographer. I want to own my own photography business. And at this time, like I said, Instagram wasn't really a thing. So these like freelance photographers that you see now that really grow their business through social media, by posting their work, and it's just word of mouth. It's just, that's how it is with all social media, and that just like wasn't really a thing. So in my head, I wanted to open my own physical studio, photography studio, and do like senior portraits and things like that. Like that's what I envisioned in my head. I even got a tattoo that says smile, because when you hold the camera, it's a smile. Okay. I soon realized that that was not really working for me, and one summer I decided I wanted to do an internship somewhere. So I emailed a ton of people in Minneapolis here. I was dating a boy from St. Paul, and I was like, perfect, like I'll go to Minneapolis and see if I can internship and just follow along with the photographer and just see if it's something that I enjoy. So I did that. I emailed someone who I loved their work and everything, and she was happy to bring me along and be like a second shooter for a wedding. So that is what I did, and I hated it. It was a cold, windy day. I was lugging around all this crap. It was about a 12-hour day, and I had barely eaten. I was dealing with like all of these people who I didn't know them prior. You know, she obviously, the photographer, knew them because they had like consults and stuff, and I didn't like it. And so I went back like I didn't feel discouraged. I was like, I'm happy I did that, because now I know that's not really what I want to do. I don't really want to be a wedding photographer, for sure not a wedding photographer. That's not, like, if you mess up in the moment, I remember the shot that I needed to get, I'm sure she had different shots, but she wanted to see if I could do it. I had to get literally her dad and her walking down the aisle. Too stressful for me. If you screw that up, there is no redo. You can't, it's not like a regular shoot. There is no redoing that moment. Like, you get one shot, and if you don't get it, your career is over. So it was not for me, long story short. So in December of 2014, I decided that I did not want to go to school anymore. It was my junior year. No, excuse me, it was my end of sophomore year, so I was going into my, no wait. Yeah, it was the end of my junior year, and I was going into my senior year, but I decided that I did not want to like continue with school anymore. I wanted to drop out and move to Colorado with my friend. And that was our big move. We were like, dude, I'm done with this. This school is not bringing any value to my life right now. Like, I'm not happy. I'm not learning anything. I don't know what the heck I want to do. Let's just move. And at this time I had switched my major again from business to mass communications. So I was doing mass comm, and I actually really enjoyed it. I felt like it was more in my kind of like realm. I was doing like, and I had an emphasis in photojournalism. So it's kind of funny, like what I'm doing now is exactly what I was like, went to school for, because it turns out that after I dropped out, my counselor from Moorhead State emailed me and was like, hey, I know you're not continuing, but just wanted to let you know that you did finish with a creative writing and photojournalism degree. And I was like, suckers, I didn't drop out, I got a degree, so screw everyone. So anyway, that was really exciting for me. I felt pretty good about myself. Didn't feel like a complete failure, but moving to Colorado was like a really big deal. It was Super Bowl Sunday weekend that we decided to move, and my parents had got off work. They got a big trailer. We packed up my couch and my bed and like all the furniture, and like it was a big move. And we decided that we wanted to sublease an apartment there because that just made more sense to us. We'll sublease, and then once we're there, we'll kind of like figure out where we want to be and like what area and stuff. So we went on Craigslist, found an apartment. He sent over contracts and all of that, and it seemed legit. So we were good to go. We were moving, we packed up, we got to Colorado. Actually, my friend got to Colorado first. I was still halfway there, which is, mind you, a 12-hour drive from North Dakota, and it was like 15 for him in Minnesota. So we were like halfway there, and he calls me, he's like, yeah, I don't feel right about this apartment. Like, something's off. He like didn't want me to talk to the front desk. Something's not right. And basically, long story short, we were like scammed in this apartment because legally we could not stay there. That apartment building does not allow sublets, and great. So luckily I have an aunt and uncle in Colorado. We stayed there for the weekend. We were already halfway there. We're like, let's just keep going. We'll visit them. We'll turn around on Sunday, which happened to be the Super Bowl. My dad was pissed that we had to drive home, and it was like the worst snowstorm of the year. I got a flat tire during it. It was just like an overall really awful experience. But I think if it didn't happen, I wouldn't be where I am. So fast forward to the Monday after we got home from that long trip. My boyfriend had still lived in Minneapolis at the time, not John, but my boyfriend at the time. So I was like, let's just move to Minneapolis. So my friend and I are like, okay, let's go there. Like, that's another option. We both loved Minneapolis. It was like 6 hours from my hometown. It was like a good distance, and we felt good about that. So I moved to Minneapolis. I got a job at Minneapolis Fit Body Boot Camp, which is the gym that my husband John now owned and started when he was 23, 24 years old. Fit Body Boot Camp is a franchise. Now, just this past September, I believe, or October, I don't know, sometime last late 2018, we are no longer a franchise, and now we're just Minneapolis Training Studio. We are like our own, we're solo basically. And it didn't really make any difference. Nothing really changed as far as that. It's just like the name, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So I just started this job. I had met John the first day of, like the first shift I had met him. He did not hire me, for those wondering, but I did meet him on my first day, and there was no sparks. Like, there was nothing. It wasn't like it was love at first sight. I had a boyfriend, he had a girlfriend. We were very like, this is my boss, I'm your employee. Like, that was the relationship. A few weeks into working there, I really got into like the workouts. 30-minute, quick, high intensity interval training. Like, I loved it. I thought it was so cool, so great. Just quick, effective workouts. I was like, there's nothing better, because I grew up hating working out. I didn't work out all in college. I would do like elliptical for like an hour, and that would be it. Like, I just didn't really work out. And finding this gym and finding this style of workout just changed my whole like perspective on health and fitness, and it really just excited me, and I was changing for the better, and it felt really good. So fast forward, John and I were dating. That's a whole other story that I'm not gonna get into. And at this time, it was 2015, not a lot of like bloggers or like really big Instagram people that I necessarily followed. I just had like still my personal Instagram page with like 800-ish followers of just like my friends and my friends from high school and college, and just like randoms, you know what I mean? So it was like, I didn't post anything about health and fitness really, but people did know that I had this new job and I was working, and I had this new man who was like amazing, and I was so in love and so happy, and just overall happier person. And I think people could start to see that. They would start to ask me questions and like send me messages like, you know, these are friends, like friends from college and stuff, just asking me about like working out and how I'm like motivated, and just asking me things. And people from the gym as well, they would ask me questions all the time, and I did sit downs with people. I would talk about their nutrition with them and all that stuff, and I just had so many questions, and I saw so many people with the same questions, and I was just like, dude, I should start something like where I can explain all of these things that I have learned throughout my personal trial and error journey, and just lay it out so people can just go and do it. And while I'm at it, I could share workouts. If people can't make it to the gym that day, perfect. I got a 30-minute workout literally on my blog right there. You can go do it, and there's no excuse. And I remember that was like, wow, I can like share this health and fitness lifestyle and how I have found balance in my life, because there was a point where I was super restrictive and super hard on myself, and then I like binged eat, and it was just like this whole part in time in my life where I did not have a balance. I didn't understand the meaning of it, and it was just really hard for me. And then I got into the point where I did find that balance, and I found extreme like just passion for finding that balance and for sharing it with other people. Like, it just made me so excited if I could help someone, because that's what I wish I had when I was starting out, you know? So John, being the business savvy and like amazing man that he is, was like, let's do it. Like, this is my gift to you. I'm gonna gift you a website. Like, let's build it from scratch, WordPress, let's do it. And now there's like so many like Squarespace and things where it's just a really easy template. You can make a site for free now, which is really great. Who's calling me? Excuse me. Hello? What? So John decided to give me this website, which was really great. Web developers and websites in general are not cheap. And that was like his gift to me. He wanted to just get me like excited, or I could start from the ground up and just kind of like design what I think a blog should be, and like the layout and like everything I wanted. So on my blog, originally I started Coffee Talk, which is where I would just sit down with people, you know, on the internet, but I would be sharing just any thoughts that came to mind, and without a care in the world. Like, I didn't know who was reading it. I would just put it out there, and like, if it helped someone, great. If it didn't, like, I don't need to know. I wouldn't know. And then recipes, which is getting my belly under my blog. I would share all my like favorite recipes. That has kind of like died down because it just didn't really have like an extreme passion for like recipe creation. I think there's just so much out there on that my favorite thing is the fitness part of everything. Workouts was another thing that I shared. I love like the exercise part of everything, and I know that's actually can be the easiest for people. It's nutrition that's the hardest, but in my opinion, I am not qualified to like give you the best nutrition advice because we are all so different in that. But I knew I could deliver really great workouts, and I knew that they were good, and so I knew that when I shared them, people would respond well to them, because if they actually took the time to do them, then they cared, and like that's when I just like kept going with that. So that's what it's kind of transitioned into. And really what I just love sharing, I don't want to be considered in the fitness industry necessarily. I feel like I am a lifestyle self-help coach, like whatever. That's what I am. I want to like help people feel their absolute best and like just recognize their true potential, because like I don't know if you are someone who is watching this right now and you kind of feel just stuck in your life, or like you're not really sure what to do, you're not happy with where you're at, and it's like, dude, I've been there. Like I have been so low to where I feel like a failure with everything I do, and it's just like crazy to see where I have ended up, and I'm not even close to where I want to be. I am nowhere near it, and it's taken me 2 years to even get here, and it's kind of bonkers when I think about it, but I never use that word. Why did I say that? This is the first like story time thing that I've ever shared on YouTube, so if you're still here, thank you so much. Like this video and subscribe, thank you. In like October of 2016, that is when I wanted to like start my blog. And we started developing it and all that stuff, and it was starting to be a thing. That December of 2016, we moved into our condo here. And then January of 2017, John and I got married in Mexico. And then March 2017, March 8th to be exact, I launched my blog. How did I launch, you might ask? For probably 4 months prior to my launch, I had been writing blog posts. So I wrote about, you know, confidence and supplements and workouts and recipes, and I had all that already laid out how I wanted it, pictures, you know, everything was like already on the site, everything was looking good. I hadn't launched it yet, but I just wanted blog posts out there. So when people did come to my page, they came to my website, they would want to stick around, you know, they would have something to look at, they would have more options other than just like, hey, go check out this one post and then there's nothing else for them. So that is one tip that I have, is like have a few things prepared and ready to go, just so people can kind of get a feel for what your page is going to be about. John so graciously gifted me a thing called B School by Marie Folio, I think her name, I don't know her last name, but it's basically like a school on how to be, I don't know, an entrepreneur, how to make money online or make money in general. What do you want to do with your life? You know what I mean? It's one of those kind of things. It was a lot of money. He is he will spend money on like education for us like that over anything. And I hadn't really understood that quite yet. I was like, why are you buying me this program when we could take that money and go to Hawaii? Like, what are you doing? But I get it now. I get the self-development thing, obviously, because I feel like I'm in it in a way and I want to be, and that's what I'm working towards. So I get it now. And it did help me because it was about 2 chapters in and she said, start before you are ready. That was me in a nutshell. I was constantly trying to perfect everything on my site. I was trying to perfect my words, perfect my photos, make everything perfect. And like, it set me back for quite a while. I remember I thought of this idea in like October or so. I actually think it was more like August, September time-ish. And I didn't even start it until March of the next year because I was so like, just worried about what other people would think. You know, I didn't have any following. I just was starting from literally nothing, like starting from just sharing it with the people, my friends who were following me, which when I did start it, a lot of friends unfollowed me. So it's just kind of funny how that works out. I just knew that like what I had to say and what I was sharing would help someone, because my message was more than just trying to be like a blogger or like an Instagram person. Like that is never what I intended or like started my blog for. I genuinely just, sorry, my camera died. I genuinely just wanted a place to share my story, and I wanted to share my faith and how fitness just really just changed my life. And I didn't want to be one of those people who got big on Instagram or my blog because I posted a butt selfie every 2 seconds, because I saw that happening and I was just like, you know, there's got to be more to like this fitness thing than just literally posting your butt progress. Like I was like, there's got to be more. I think it's really great to show your progress and be like super proud of that. 100%, I'm totally for that. However, I just wanted my page to be like just more real and in-depth than that, because there's so much more to me than fitness, and there's more to me than my physical appearance. I felt like I had a bigger message to share with people, and that is why I started my blog, because there was more to what I saw out there that needed to be said. I felt like there was a lot of people not really talking about, and this was at the time, remember, like now, like self-love, self-help, all that is very popular. It is a very talked about subject. But at that time, it really wasn't. I didn't follow anyone who was talking about that stuff. And so, yeah, I wanted to do it. And I didn't really care about numbers, because again, I didn't even know like what I was doing when I started. I started before I was ready. My heart was like, do it, girl. My mind was like, no, what is everyone gonna think? Everyone's gonna like judge you and think that you're that girl who like was a huge partier and then all of a sudden you became this fitness person and now like you know it all. No, I don't know it all, but I do have a story and I just wanted to share because I knew it would help somebody. And I'm not gonna get into how I grew my Instagram because that's a whole other world. But what I do have to say is, if you want to start a blog, you have to be consistent. I started out posting 5 days a week. I posted Monday through Friday for like the first 4 months. And then I got burnt out. I was like, oh, I have nothing more to say. Like I have no more words. And so I definitely have just limited it to when I do have something to say, when I have something to share, because that is when it's like the most genuine. And obviously, I feel like if I would have just kept going 5 days a week or going, you know, even 3 times a week or something, which I think is doable for some people, but for my content, I wanted it to be a little more in-depth than that. And it takes a lot of like thinking on my behalf to dig deep and to like really try and share a message. So I've been posting less. I post when I have something on my heart, because that's what it's there for. That's what my blog is there for. It's not there just to be the most popular blog in the world. Like, obviously I want to continue growing. That is super important to me. Obviously, like I want to grow my social medias and my blog. Like that's not a secret. That's not, of course I do. That just means more people can see like my message and do the workouts and feel good about themselves. Like, hell yes. Okay, that is all I have for this video because I think it's already super long. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here and supporting me and loving up on me. I hope that I have done the same to you in some way. Subscribe and like this video and let me know what other content you want from YouTube down below, or DM me or something, because your girl needs some suggestions. And yeah, that's all I've got for you. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!